Well, howdy, 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 nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and to all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this a brand new day. Fan on in the window, one fan on out in the hallway, and bedroom door open, and it's going to be a scorcher. Only one fan on in the hallway because the other fan I was using stopped working. It just stopped working all of a sudden while I was here, and it was out in the hall, and it just went powered down, and you plug it in and then nothing. So yay. And it's gonna be a scorcher. We got a heat advisory probably all weekend, and it's gonna be near 100, if not topping it at least today. I don't know about the rest of the weekend. So yay, but right now it is cool enough that I'm wearing a shirt because I'm chill. But I got the fan in the window blowing the air outward, and I got the fan out there blowing the cool air from my bedroom out into the hall. So yay on that. Still though, hopefully not too hot where you are, but yeah, yes. Still though, thumbs up. Yesterday was a weird day. I did a lot of early, not morning stuff. It was, good golly, Miss Molly. It was around noonish before I finally got up to the library, printed the thing that I needed to print, and then went to the rental company, gave them the letter that my sister had written up for them. I have always stood in the background when there are other people to do things. Stepping up and doing it myself was hard. I was literally shaking. My voice was shaking as I talked, but I did it, and they had to talk to their lawyer. And then talk to my sister. She called them, she talked to them because she had written a letter, she knows the things better, got information, we have confirmation, we know what to do. That's good. Now, the thing is, I had been pinning my hopes on this tiny house thing here in Shelton that's just opened up. It may be too tiny. Apparently most of the rooms are not much bigger than dorm rooms. They come with a bed, a desk, etc., etc. There's no kitchen, but you can put like a microwave. There's a bathroom and shower, oh my God. My sincere apologies. Ugh. The air quality is not great either. But they're smaller that way. It seems to me that this sort of, because they have on-camp, person to do case manager type stuff, and they need UAs and all that apparently from some people, it's more of a, you have fallen and lost everything because you're homeless, because of your drug addiction, your alcohol use, your gambling, your whatever destructive thing you've done that has brought you down to nothing. Now that you're getting your life together, here's a small home where you can get a base and then work from there. That's not my situation. I'm busy falling down, and I want to not hit the ground. I want to not lose everything so that I have to claw my way back up. So this may very well not be what I need, but being a veteran and getting this letter that we've got that is going to work is going to put me closer to the top of any lists for housing and such like that, and they usually have lists and lotteries and a lot of things like that. This puts me up into the veterans list, which is closer to the top, and so I don't have to deal with lotteries, don't have to deal with all these various little things. There's no games, there's just, we're gonna put you on the thing for housing, here's some housing when it's available. So that's good. Bad for everyone who's not a veteran, but they rank everybody everywhere with everything, so it doesn't matter. Even animals rank things, so I mean, we're animals, so of course we're gonna rank stuff. But still, that's what's going on there. I could get a rental voucher thing, put me up toward the top of the list to try and get a rental voucher. So we'll see how that works. As well, this continues to be another great thing that's pounding on my head. I recently got one of the bits of paperwork for my Social Security disability. You know, everyone who's on this stuff has to fill out paperwork periodically. Talked with my therapist about that. He said, I got the thing, I'm sending in all this, and this. You know, and so it's very rare that people don't get their stuff renewed. I wouldn't worry about it. That very day, I too got another packet of paperwork to fill out. Because this is the we're looking for a reason paperwork. This is the, oh, you have a disability? Tell us in detail how it affects every single aspect of your life. Each one of them in detail. Keep notes. If you need more space, there's more paper you can put in there. So, yay. I mean, it's important. You have to prove according to rules and all that, but... And of course, I got the paperwork on Friday. I gotta get it back to them by the 31st. That includes mailing time. So I've got like this weekend, and then it has to go out in the mail on Monday, or it's not gonna get there. Paperwork, unfortunately, gives me a headache and puts me to sleep. And I don't mean it in a, oh gosh, I hate paperwork, I need to go rest. No, this is a, I get migraines from paperwork and it makes me fall asleep. Literally, I am fighting to stay awake. I can't do it anymore. So part of the paperwork telling about the disabilities starts off with just doing paperwork is one of the issues I have. So, yay. And I looked up there. There is a, it's not that now, squirrel, jumping to another subject entirely again. I'm going to do spider report right in at 7 minutes because there's a spider up there dangling from bits of web. It's not an orb weaver. Looks more like, well, it's cobweb type, but it's the bigger body, smaller leg type. And she's kind of dangling up there. And so I don't know if she's wolf that's just got a tangle up there or is more of a cobweb type spider or what, but it's kind of cool that there's a spider up there. I like spiders. Thumbs up for that. Last night while I was in the bathroom, not using the toilet or any such, I was standing by the mirror and I was brushing my hair. Movement out of the corner of my eye. When I looked at the wall, right in this area, this spot here, that was the entire leg span of the cellar spider coming down on a web on my wall. Her body, of course, just a tiny little thing. Yep, I'll try to find a spot where I can show. Just a little thing, but her leg span, just, spiders have great huge legs. And she was on a mission. She came down the wall to the floor and then went across the floor underneath there's a sink, and so it's got a wooden stand at the base of it so you can put things underneath the sink. She went underneath the cupboard lip of that and then was doing stuff around the floor on the garbage can and then raced back over and settled down on the floor near the wall. So she was in a corner over there. So I wished her the best of luck, and this morning she's up in a corner above the doorway. So she's okay. She's a spider, so who knows where she's going to be later on. But yeah, I used to be intensely arachnophobic. Not anymore. Not anymore. In fact, I have actually fought with myself. I've wanted to go out and get like garden spiders so I could bring them inside the room here. But as much as I like having spiders in the room, as much as I like having orb weaver spiders, orb weavers are ambush prey, especially that's very passive ambush types. And while I do get bugs that come in through the open window when it's open, compared to outside, it's a desert in here food-wise and water-wise. They need to be out there if the orb weaver types, so makes me sad. Thumbs up. Nice to have spiders around though. There was some other things I was going to mention, another squirrel moment, but it popped into my head and then was gone again, so thumbs up. But let me check my list here and write down all the things that I've got that deal with the outside world. Oh yes, when I was talking about this, I hyperfixate because of my ADHD. I talked about hyperfixation in video games and stuff yesterday. I'm still hyperfixating on Halls of Torment. I have talked with my therapist about that, and being obsessive can be okay. It's when it gets compulsive that you have an issue. When you have compulsions, you have issues. My sister deals with obsessive and compulsive behavior. She has through her life had to have things labeled with label guns. They have had to be in the right place. They have had to be, placed properly on shelves. She struggles with obsessive compulsive behavior. I have fought with obsessive behavior my whole life and have fought and have circled around compulsive behavior, but have been able to stay away from it enough. The only common factor that she and I have in this is our mother. Because we had different fathers, yet we both deal with this sort of issue. So my mother's DNA had to be a mess, which means my DNA is a mess. Jennifer's DNA was a mess because of all of her cancers and such. And so our kids' DNA is a mess. The thing is, though, welcome to humanity. Everybody's DNA is a mess. That's one of the joys and the problems that we have. I have always wondered primarily about why we have so much junk DNA. Like 98% of our DNA sequence is useless, quote unquote. And then not 98%, but a huge portion of our DNA is just junk. But there's an actual reason that it's just junk and useless. There are mutations that pop up every single generation in every single cell. Most mutations are, yes, negative. If you're going to have a mutation pop up that could kill the host, where is a better place for it to be? On an important bit of genome, or happening in the junk DNA where it doesn't matter what happens there, your body ignores it. It is a junkyard for this reason. So most of our harmful and even positive mutations are happening in the junk DNA just because our actual DNA is sort of scattershot amid the garbage. And it's scattershot amid the garbage to protect us from the mutations that happen. Evolution is fun. I just think it's kind of cool. It's neat. Now let's take a look at what else I have. Oh yes, I was watching a Hassan video this morning, and one of the things he said is it is close to what I think it was Walt Whitman who said in a poem, it's like, do I contradict myself? Very well then, I contradict myself. I am large. I contain multitudes. And yeah, it's true. Each one of us we have contradictory views on just normal stuff. So what he was saying is, a normal person is just a sea of contradictions. And it's true, we are. If you take a look at a lot of your beliefs, if you could sit them down on paper and then sort them, you'd find that a lot of them are just diametrically opposed. They will not work. But we're people. We can put things into boxes and then change our perception of what's happening at the moment. So thumbs up for that. Do I have anything else on my list over here? The only last thing before I do some quick, what little creative talk I have is cats and habit and cucumbers. Cats are creatures of habit, and cats like to have things a specific way. I've read things about people who have had their cats come out to say it's time to go to bed, basically, and not leave them alone until they go to bed because it's time, creature of habit. Cats eat in safe areas, which is why I hate this whole cucumber making your cat jump thing, and I'll talk about that again, but cats eat where they feel safe, and cats are creatures of habit. If I have the door open and Amelia can come outside of this room, which she can't do all the time, but she can periodically, but when that happens, if I have fed her, and I have to go downstairs to the bathroom, within about a minute, she'll show up in the bathroom. And she will stand there and look at me until I start walking out, at which point she starts walking ahead of me and then turning to look until we get all the way back to here where I'm supposed to be so she can go over there and eat. So, creatures of habit. And again, one of the reasons that whole cucumber making your cat jump, it is a terrible thing to do. Please don't do it. Cats eat where they feel safe. Cats have a normal, natural fear of larger snakes. When you put a cucumber down in the area, it looks like a snake in their safe place. Especially if you are there and you're supposed to be there when they're in their safe place to eat, and you violate that trust. They're not blaming you, they don't know, but they're just in the safe place. When that safe place is violated with what looks like a snake, yeah, they're going to jump, they're terrified. It's not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be their safe place. I hate that trend. I hate people doing that. It's a terrible thing to do to your pet. Past that, I do have a little bit written down on the list of things, and this is really hurting, this is really hurting, I have nerve compression, I need surgery, we know, blah blah blah, ow. Past that, the only real thing I've gotten is to some iterations of other things, like with the WKNLV radio and Big Danny, who, good guy. Oh, my brain. And of course, I've mentioned before, it's just a really dangerous place. The Razor's Edge, exceptionally dangerous, and no way to make it not dangerous, like we've done with our world. Our world is still dangerous, but compared to nature, it is a utopia on the whole danger scale. On the Razor's Edge, it is incredibly dangerous. I mean, being eaten is always in the top 10. Usually it jumps up into the top 5 and sometimes into the top 3 of causes of death. Everybody has a story about a close family member or friend who was eaten alive in front of them. But this is known. A lot of the descendants of this place are descendants of thrill seekers and adrenaline junkies. People that immigrate from the outside where we are and move on to there know how dangerous it is, and that's part of the thrill. It is an untamable, unending frontier on the Razor's Edge. There are 1 million square kilometers of there for every square meter of there, because there's just so much. Unending, untamable. You can make things as safe as you like, but you have to travel via glamour because everything is separated with undifferentiated space between it. Everything is in a superposition and does not fall into its own particular layer until you form your own personal layer, or it clicks and snaps onto an existing layer, and layers only become stable through intelligence. So outcroppings and settlements and towns are spots of stability, like the town of settlement of Leshaway, 200 people. The little settlement of Leshaway is stable. There's a small area that surrounds the Leshaway that is stable, and it is stable because of the stabilizing presence of intelligence, the observation effect. Things have dropped out of its superposition. This layer is this way until you hit the edges. In Leshaway, they are dealing with a bad thing. And I've mentioned this. Everybody in Leshaway is going to die. And everyone in Leshaway is not going to die pleasantly. There are stacks of rotting heads and then just skulls everywhere. On the inside, on the razor's edge, even out here. They all are the matter of the razor's edge on the inside, so people without the sight out here can't see the things, but they are there. Nobody knows where they come from. Nobody knows who puts them there. Nobody knows whose heads are being severed or pulled off or somehow removed from people's bodies, and nobody knows who stacks them up. In Leshaway, one person, they find their head in a stack of torn off heads right around the town. They do can anyone identify any of these heads? Because they're fresh. And one person says, I recognize this person. It's my neighbor. They go to the neighbor's house, and yeah, their body is there, blood everywhere, and the headless body. The thing is, there is huge bruise marks on the shoulder. There are huge bruise marks around these parts of the heads. You only bruise when you're alive and you have living tissue that reacts to trauma. These people are having grips tight around their heads, a pressure on their shoulder, and their heads are being torn off slow enough that they are able to bruise before they die. You can't bruise when you're dead. So these people are not dying nicely. I cannot imagine it feels good to have your head slowly pull off and separate from your spinal cord and all that. So their heads, this person's head was torn off, and they start doing all this. We got to be careful. More people's heads are getting torn off. People try to leave. Their heads get torn off first and put into stacks. They're trying to not have their heads torn off. They're getting into groups of 2 or 3, and then they're finding the groups of 2 or 3 with their heads torn off, but nobody called for help on their walkie-talkies or phones. Everybody in Leshaway is going to have their head slowly torn off of their bodies. They're not going to know what is doing it to them. When the town of Leshaway is finally figured out and it's all done and there's just stacks of rotting heads and everyone's dead, no one's going to know what happened and why. An untamable, unending frontier. There are reasons for everything that happens, and 99.99999% of the time, you will never know the reason. And in 23 minutes, I would like to thank all my Patreon patrons. I don't have new people written from yesterday, but these are beautiful and awesome people. These are still my Patreon patrons. Beautiful, awesome. Thank you so much. You keep me and my aging pet alive, and that is appreciated to no end. Thumbs up and thank you. For everyone who's donated to my GoFundMe or has ever donated to my PayPal in the past, thank you so much. It is appreciated. And to everybody, I mentioned the GoFundMe. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm going to go through and thank how many people that left me comments in the past 24 hours. And if I mispronounce the username, let me turn off the spotlight. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I count in American Sign Language on this hand, it's just stimming, which is I stim and I have to, but oh, like this finger in particular, it literally feels like it's been smashed like a hammer, but use it or lose it. And it's a sharp, sharp pain. So thumbs up. So we have Zelos, Xelos, thumbs up, thank you much. And Halls of Torment, great game, and boy, oh boy, oh boy, hyperfixation. It can be good, it can be bad. I mean, I'm hyperfixated on Halls of Torment. I'm not looking forward to, I wake up one day and suddenly I don't really care about it for the time being. Yay for hyperfixating. I love ADHD. We have Pedro Avila. Thumbs up and thank you much. Jesse Koskinen. Greatly appreciated. A lot of comments from Jesse Koskinen all of a sudden. Thumbs up. Thank you much. It is always good to see you in the comments. Definitely a good thing. We have the Fourth Dimension. That's actually clever. I like that. The Fourth Dimension, mention is spelled M-E-T-I-O-N. Mention, like in words. That's a good thing. Thumbs up, thank you, and greatly appreciated. And I struggle with the with sound mixing. What sounds good to me isn't always good. And then we have J-A-Y-Y. Thumbs up, thank you. Good to see you. And it was fun doing the act. I like acting. I used to be an actor. I didn't drop out because I can't act. I dropped out because of all of my mental stuff. When I try. It's one of the reasons I can go out into the world and deal with people. I put on a mask and I can act in a way that I can function. So that's a good thing. And then we have Mighty Sauce, greatly appreciated. And User, thumbs up and thank you. Joker, and I can't tell if FH3NK is part of the name or if it's added by YouTube. But thank you very, very much, and we're working on the housing. Made in Canada, always good to see you in the comments, and hopefully you can continue to watch and enjoy. That is a good thing. Chris, thumbs up, thank you very, very much, and I'll do what I can on the voice. There is Xavier and a whole bunch of letters, and GEETMALHOTRA. Thumbs up, thank you much. Wumbo, good to see you in the comments. I do appreciate and like your name. And that was weird. I meant to say I'm coming to appreciate seeing your name in the comments because you have been leaving comments, and I do that. So thumbs up and thank you. And that is it. Greatly appreciated, each and every one of you. You get me out of my head, into the world, and dealing with real people. Definitely a thumbs up. I had some muscle spasms last night, so my arm wasn't on the pillow, and it's not feeling good today. It's not unusable. It's just towards, on a scale of 0 to 10, 1 through 3, I can just, that's background pain. I deal with that with everything. When it goes 5 to 6 and starts edging up closer to the 6 than the 4, not 5 or 6, 4 through 6. And if it's closer to the 4, it's bad, but it's okay. It's closer to 6, it's bad, but not good. We're starting to get closer to 6, but it's up in there, so I'm hurting myself just by doing that. Yay. Anyway, I got paperwork to fill out. Past that, I am going to take it easy this weekend because, oh my God, I have had so much stress talking with my sister, going out and doing things. She's really stepped up. She didn't ask for this. I dropped it in her lap. She was well within her rights to just throw it back at me and say, no, 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 no. But she didn't. She has stepped up and really helped out a lot and is still doing so, and it is going to continue to do so. So I am super appreciative of her help. It is a very, very good thing. Hopefully you can get done the things that you would like to get done. That would be a good thing as well. So yay. Hopefully I can get a game video done. Depends on the heat. It depends on how this is doing. And so yay on that. And of course, most importantly, it depends on how things are doing up here. So until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very good thing. This is the greatest tragedy of my arm hurting. I talk with my hands, as you may have noticed in my vlogging, and this is, it's telling me not to. I should listen, but no. So let me turn on my controller so I can turn off the video. Put my hand in a high contrast area, and very, very cool. Remember, American Sign Language for I love you. Put it together and you got the hand symbol. Yay! You take care, and I'll see you all. Hello?